Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Risse, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome to another episode of Winning in Business. This is your host, Kelli Risse, and I am here solo. We're going to be talking about the 3 common pitfalls of goal setting. So if you're listening to this in real time, it is almost 21 days of January, and we know that it takes 21 days to build a habit. And I also want to look at the goals, right? And your habits may not be in place if you happen to do any of these 3 common pitfalls of goal setting in general. So let's dive into those so that we can make sure that we are off to a great start of 2024. It is the year to soar in 2024. So the first common pitfall is having an over-ambitious goal. It's like deciding to climb Mount Everest because you take the stairs. Or my favorite is the people who haven't been working out at all. And then in January, they decide, I'm going to work out 7 days a week. Sometimes that's a little too overambitious. In business, an overambitious goal could be doubling your profits in 2 months. Now, doubling your profits is very realistic. The doing it in 2 months could be the part in question. And the pitfall around that is the amount of work, grind, grit to do this can lead to burnout and disappointment, which causes the critter brain to act up and tell you all sorts of crazy lies about yourself and about others. No one wants to buy from me. People don't like me, blah, 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 right? Then we start into ourselves. So make sure that your goals are realistic and sustainable, and that you didn't set over ambitious goals, right? Because we know it is the journey. It's the long haul. We have 11 and a half more months to go. So think of it that way. The second most common pitfall, neglecting emotional regulation. Y'all, we are not robots. We bleed and we need sleep and we interact with other humans. So, personally, I have a 1-day breakthrough experience specifically to help regulate emotions. And I do this because as a coach and coaching clients over the years, I have seen this is huge. Like, this can totally derail us. Our emotions can lead us on that roller coaster and of just roller coaster highs and lows. And being on those highs and lows can hijack our focus, our productivity, our motivation, our connection with others. And it doesn't even have to be the negative emotions. The positive emotions can hijack us too, because then we're out celebrating too much, right? So we have to be able to regulate our emotions. So a couple things you can do at home. Practice mindfulness. When you feel overwhelmed or stressed, pause and acknowledge it. Y'all, your emotions need to become a judgment-free zone. When you acknowledge them for whatever they are, let go of the judgment, give yourself compassion, because this will keep you from being swept up in the emotional roller coaster, right? Because sometimes the spiral comes, the highs comes, the lows come. Also, take a look at your boundaries. Do they exist? Oftentimes when our boundaries are too rigid, that means we are totally inflexible, or our boundaries are too loose. This can cause your emotions to be all over the place. When you don't have clear boundaries, then you are letting things in, people in that are just hijacking really what you believe in, right? Which then causes your emotions to run hot or cold. So get clear. on where you need to set specific boundaries and put them in place. This will be very beneficial for you. For you is that, one of my clients, her boss was always texting her all hours of the night. She had to put a boundary in place about that. Now, that can be difficult, and that alone right there makes your emotions just do something if that is scary to you, right? And so then we have to work on that. But if you really want real transformation in emotional regulation, we need to have a conversation, because truly, this is the difference that makes the difference when it comes to achieving our big goals. Your major negative emotions are anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. And when we always try, right? We try so hard. Emotions don't belong in business. Well, we are emotional beings. And when we are in a business, when we are running a business, we are part of that business, we are beings and we have emotions. And so, yes, we can regulate them. We may not be able to completely take the emotions out, but when you can regulate them, that means like leveling off your fear so that you're able to take risk, you're able to speak your voice, you're able to be confident, you're able to do that. When you're able to level off your anger, if you're someone that gets angry quickly, oh, that can make a difference in every interaction that you have with your customers, with your team, with your employees. Oh, let's take this home, with your family. This can make a huge difference. So, huge common pitfall is not being able to regulate your emotions. So I highly suggest in 2024, that is something that you work on. Start by just being aware of them. All right. And the third common pitfall in goal setting is, do you know? Lack of consistency. So we know that the key to achieving our goals is consistency, not intensity. Intensity will cause burnout. Consistency. When you skip the small daily actions, it will derail your progress. So think of it this way. Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. So if you are struggling with consistency, ask yourself, what's the purpose of not being consistent? What comes up? What just popped into your head? Are you not aligned with your goals? Are you overwhelmed and you need to break them down into smaller pieces? Do you have self-doubt that you can achieve your goals, right? That goes back to the first one of, are your goals too ambitious and you truly don't believe that you can achieve them? If that's going on in your mind, then God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is not going to be able to give that to you because you have doubt about it, whether it can happen. And you're probably going back and forth in your mind, and there's inconsistency there. And then your critter brain, again, starts telling you all kinds of crazy things. So the faster that you can determine this crucial piece of the puzzle of what's the purpose of not being consistent for you, the better results you will have in achieving your goals. So, my client, Shelly, she's an author, and she was lacking consistency in her daily writing. It was on her calendar. It was blocked out. And yet, during that time, she would find other things to do to keep her busy. Oh, I need to email so-and-so. Oh, I need to do this. Yes, all things that she needed to do, except shouldn't have been done during the writing time. And so she realized that this was a pretty crucial piece to being a writer and that she needed to get to the root cause of this as soon as possible. And so we did a one-day breakthrough and were able to break through her resistance. She had so many ahas about why she was not being consistent. We realigned her values at the subconscious level, which put her into consistent action. I just talked to her the other day, and she is writing daily. She is completing manuscripts, and she has been presented with several opportunities because she is being consistent. It is the difference that makes the difference.
all three of these. We have to make sure that you are avoiding and you have strategies for all three of these common pitfalls. And so take a minute today, right now, and check yourself. Do you need to address any of these common pitfalls? Do you have overambitious goals? Are you neglecting your emotional regulation? And do you have a lack of consistency? If so, how are you going to address those? If you need help, I'd love to jump on a complimentary strategy call with you so that we can uncover, kind of get to the root cause of what's going on and come up with a game plan for you. Because my goal in 2024 is to help people live with more ease. And the reason I want to help people live with more ease is so that when we are around the people that we love, our kids, our spouses, our friends, our family, and ourselves, that we are present and we are available. Because when we can quiet the mind, we can do those things and live just with ease, joyful, with ease, more happiness. That's the plan for 2024. All right, so there's your 3 common pitfall strategies. Check yourself, and I will see you next week. Until then, rise up and live. And if you need a complimentary strategy call, then let's connect and let's get that on the books. All right, Kelli Risse, Rise Up and Live. See you next week.
Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.